You know, when we were kids, and you know, like any kid, you get sick from time to time. And anytime we got sick, we automatically knew we were going to my Grandma Mary's house. Grandma Mary was always home. You didn't have to even consider it. If we were sick or somebody wasn't feeling good, somebody woke up and they had a stomach bug or the flu or a bad cold, my mama could not miss a day of work, and we would go to my Grandma Mary's house. So she would call in late and let them know she got to run. She running behind, but she got to take us to Grandma Mary's house. And Grandma Mary lived in Yamacraw Village, 1264 Yamacraw Village. And that's where we would be. So if we was better the next day, we went back to school. If we wasn't better the next day, we went back to Grandma Mary's house. And if we wasn't better the next day, we went back to Grandma Mary's house. Yep, me or Khalid. That was the thing. Grandma Mary was always home. If I called my grandma and she wasn't at home, she was either at the doctor's office, or she went to pay her bills, or she went to the grocery store. Other than that, she was home. She was always at the house. When we would stay at my Grandma Mary's house in the summertime, or them days when we were sick, you get up in the morning, the news was on. After the news went off, then we watched what was the show? Price is Right. Watched Price is Right. Then we watched Perry Mason, right? And then this was before they started having 12 o'clock news. But after the Price is Right and after Perry Mason, then we watched The Young and the Restless. Then after The Young and the Restless, then we watched As the World Turns. And then after As the World Turns, then we watched The Guiding Light. We watched the same things every single day. She was always available. Grandma Loretta, she was always home. If we called out to Grandma Loretta's house in the country, if Loretta wasn't home, then she was someplace like doctor's office, went to pay a bill, or she went somewhere with my granddaddy. Other than that, she was always at the house. Why am I telling y'all these details? Because grandma and granddaddy have changed today. And these millennials are upset about it. They say y'all grandparents today are not available. They say y'all not in your grandparents' game. Y'all supposed to be helping out with these grandkids. Y'all supposed to be there. Y'all supposed to be at soccer games. Y'all supposed to be picking kids up from school. Y'all supposed to be able to give kids a spanking. Y'all supposed to be able to cook. Y'all supposed to be able to babysit. These millennials want to go out and go somewhere and have a good time on the weekend, or maybe just go out with their husband or wife and just enjoy themselves sometime. But grandma out. Grandma got stuff to do. Grandma is not retired. Grandma working. So let's talk about it, because there's an implication out there that there's some deadbeat grandparents. I'm not saying that. I need y'all to be clear. I'm not saying by no stretch of the word that none of y'all are deadbeat grandparents. I'm not saying that. I'm not a grandparent yet. And I'm going to tell you right now, if any of my children had some kids right now, they probably be upset with me, because I'm still doing it. I got about 9 shows this month. So listen, I mean, that means I'm not available. 9 shows that means that literally you can put add a date to each one of them dates. That's 18 days I'm not available. So if I had grandkids now, they probably would consider me a deadbeat grandparent. But I'm not. But here's the question: are you? Is there there's this whole article in the New York Post with a millennial psychiatrist, and she's complaining because she says today the trend is that grandparents aren't available. So as we go into the holidays, ask yourself a question, introspective. Ask the Lord, pray about it. Seek the Holy Spirit and ask yourself, am I a deadbeat grandparent? That's the topic today. Do me a favor. Call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your uncle, call your grandma, and call your grandkids, and let them all know that the Akintunde show is about to start. Let's go.
Another track layer production, but no joke entertainment. Let's go.
Akintunde is gone. One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that was did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery. That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel, but P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's pbpromotionals.com, or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works, and we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good one today, y'all. Oh, my God. It's going to be a good one today. You know, the millennials asking these questions about the grandparents not being available. And I ain't gonna tell them about it, but, you know, y'all know Donna just got back from Vegas. And, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, hats, mugs, backpacks, bottles, cups, drinking glasses, lip balm, chewing gum, candy, and of course, t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising institution. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com. Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals. All right, y'all. I'm not trying to start nothing. We just talking about the article in the Washington Post where, again, like I said, some millennials asking the question. I did not ask this question. I'm just looking at the article and utilizing it for a talking point, a point of dialogue. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. Do me a favor, share the room, let everybody know that we are in. But I tell you who else is in. Pastor Tuck is in the building. Donna J is in the building. How y'all doing, family?
Doing all right.
I'm doing great.
Doing all right.
I'm great. I'm great. All right, I'm great. Yeah.
Donna talking trash. She talking good trash.
Talking. Yeah. Donna just came back from the mail review in I
thought I saw it on the.
Tell you wasn't supposed to tell that.
It was Usher's last concert. And,
you know, Donna been out there swinging, swinging from the trapeze out there with Usher and.
With my cheeks out.
Out there with cheeks out and everything. So,
oh my God. Y'all started.
Max like, Grandma!
we saw your Instagram. No, Donna kept it holy. She was out there. She went to church.
Yes.
She went to church. No.
She went to church out there. She's out there praising the Lord. Praising the Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
To be clear though, like I said, y'all, for y'all start coming from, because I know it's some grandmas in the room. I see Sister Jean is in the room. And
Crystal Mark is in the building.
Yeah. So Crystal, yeah. So I know the grandmas is rolling deep in here.
Yes.
Yeah. So all right, Julia, you need to go to break, Julia? I see the camera blinking. All right. Okay, you good? All right. So yeah, so again, y'all, we had a great time this weekend for First Sundays. Another packed house this weekend. And had a great time, a great lineup. Again, huge shout out to Shanita Morris, aka Chocolate, as well as comedian Don Barrett. And it was a great show. Shout out to my man Travis Lincoln, who came through and blessed the house as always and supported and come out, just have a good time laughing. Coming up this first Sunday, January, we will be off. Of course, y'all know on January we're off. But guess what we got for y'all? We got a free First Sundays for you virtual. So you can watch and enjoy First Sundays just like always, but it'll be virtual in January. Then we'll be right back here in February. So we're going to take January off and we'll be right back in February. Y'all know we started in February last year and went 11 months straight. And then we're going to do the same thing this year, taking January off, but we have a free one for you. So all you have to do, if you want to get the free link, all you have to do is text First Sundays virtual to 803-738-6604. That's 803-738-6604 and put your email address in the text. That's all you have to do. So text First Sundays virtual to 803-738-6604 and put your email address in the virtual, and we'll send you a free link and you can enjoy the First Sundays. I'm calling it the New Year Kickoff, and it will be a retrospect actually of many of the comedians that came through last year and blessed the house. You know, we have a First Sundays library, and we're going to enjoy some of those. Plus, I'll play some other special clips and classic stuff from our library. So yeah, it's gonna be great. So that's coming up. But again, huge shout out to Shanita Morris. One more last thing I gotta say about Shanita. Shanita and I recorded a podcast, but while she was here. And this was part of our new series as we roll out to radio stations and TV stations and networks. So it's a part of our new series called the Mics and Stool Podcast. And that's really my opportunity to sit down more of and just talk, have a timeless conversation and talk for a while with comedians, entrepreneurs, pastors, anyone who stands before people and holds a mic, singer, artist, whomever. So look out for that. It's no telling who we'll have in for that special series. And again, sat down and talked with Shanita. It was a dope conversation, 2-hour plus conversation. Got a little emotional. We talked about some stuff, and that'll drop on Monday. She even addresses something that happened actually on her podcast a couple of weeks ago with her and our brother, friend, and fellow comedian Griff. Something happened, kind of got contentious, and it kind of was an uproar, particularly amongst the comedy community and the Christian and clean comedy community. So she addressed that, and we'll drop that on Monday. I'm sorry, this coming Monday. So look out for that. Again, it's a brand new podcast series. It's an extension of the Akintunde show called Mics and Stools. So y'all look out for that. But again, so Donna and Pastor Tuck, Pastor Tuck, what'd you do this weekend? We know where Donna was. What'd you do this weekend, Pastor Tuck?
Man, I spent a lot of time with the Lord and dropped a life-changing word on Sunday morning.
My God.
I didn't even go to bed till Sunday morning.
Wow.
I preached this word on Sunday morning, and so if you need that word, you better go check out the My Church channel.
Okay.
Set you free.
Do me a favor. Give me a headline of what it was. Give me a headline and a byline.
I'm in a series talking about tapping into higher frequency. Talking about hearing the voice of God, and on Sunday, I preached a message called "Eliminating the Static."
Jesus. Okay, I'll be watching that today. That's good. That's a good word right there. Yeah, that's good word. Getting that clarification, clearing the airways. My God.
Yeah, and there's a just like I said, just to give a little, I guess, little what you call them? What you call them?
Teaser?
Spoiler. Little spoiler.
Okay.
One of the things I think that keeps people from, I'm using this illustration about frequency and hearing, and God took me a little bit deep, cerebral, back to my engineering days.
Okay.
And so I kind of went deep with it.
Okay.
Because he showed me something that one of my folks is in the comments. Sister Karen Robinson, one of my ministers, she said that word was fire. But
Bless the
was
Lord.
talking about from static, literally just talking about static, the technical of what static actually is. But he showed me the correlation between static and guilt and condemnation. And so, and I'm telling you, I can't go no further than that, because I'll go back down that road. But I'm telling you,
preaching.
It will set you free. I'm telling you, it broke some stuff. I felt it while I was writing it. I felt it while I was preaching. I couldn't, like I said, I didn't go to bed till about 7:30 Sunday morning. I slept for a couple of hours, got back up and preached this word.
Yeah, when you got it like that, when you know you got the one in your belly that you know came from the throne room, sometimes it's hard to just get this roll over and go to sleep. That thing turning inside.
I mean, it's messing with me now, even just thinking about the bondage that has been in the body of Christ for so many years. I was talking to Apostle Tony even back when he did my anniversary. He and I were having off mic conversation, and just talking about the fact that for years the church, especially many of the denominational church, as a whole, has specialized in teaching condemnation, and we didn't even recognize what we were doing. Yeah. And for that reason, there are so many believers still stuck in the bondage of guilt and condemnation that don't realize we were feeding that to the body.
Right. Yeah.
And so many believers have been in church for years, and they're walking around stuck and can't do the things God called them to do, can't live the way God called them to live, can't have the relationship God wanted them to have. And that was never what God desired.
Never. Wow. My God. So, and that's available right now. If anybody goes to the channel, they can see that right now.
Yeah, right now on the My Church channel. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Y'all go and get that word. But but real quick, just as a passing point, it is very much true that a lot of times that what has been passed on is this gotcha God. Meaning if you don't do everything right, if you make a mistake, if you backslide, if you slip and fall, that God gonna get you. He like your mama, you messed up and you gonna get a spanking. And I think that is something that we kind of perpetuated. I don't think it was intentional, but again, I don't want to get into your message. I don't want to preach your word, but there is I can tell that's going to set a lot of people free, because that bondage of condemnation, that fear, that worry, that I didn't get it right today. I got it. I was good yesterday, but I messed up today. And a lot of people walk around this mindset of God coming out and saying, "Gotcha. Told you, I knew you," and that's not it.
And you can't get out of it. You can't get out of it.
You got entire denominations telling people they got to get saved every Sunday. It's like,
Jesus.
If that's the case, Jesus getting crucified again every week?
Yeah. That's a good word, y'all. Make sure y'all go to the My Church channel and get that word. And so all you grandparents out there who your young people, the millennials got you in bondage. Don't let them keep you in bondage.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So Donna,
get free today.
Donna was in Vegas this weekend. Donna.
I was.
How was it? How was the trip? You celebrate your birthday.
I did. It was the magical number of 65.
Okay.
And I'm so happy that I was able to reach that
Yeah.
milestone.
Yeah, come on
So
now.
I wanted to, my cousin invited me to come to Vegas. She goes to Vegas a lot.
Okay.
And she invited me to come again, and so I went out and I had a wonderful time.
Praise God.
I didn't do the little thrill seeker thing that I usually do.
Which is?
Anything. Just anything thrill seeking.
Okay.
I didn't do anything like that, but I did go see a Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, how was that?
It was, okay, so first of all, I went in with the attitude that, Michael Jackson, okay.
Yeah.
I love Michael Jackson, but okay.
Yeah.
I could do other things. But when I tell you, I came out of there, I was awestruck.
Really?
By everything. I'm going back to see it again because there's no way that you can see everything the first time you go.
Just take it all in.
It's too much stuff.
Yeah.
People flying from the ceiling, trampoline artists, trapeze
trying to get a job.
artists. Oh man, I wish I was on it because I used to do trampoline when I was younger. I would do trampoline and
You find out something different about Donna every time she talks.
Donna got layers. She's an onion. A pure onion.
Every time Donna says something like, "You did what again?" Lucky we not the police. You be sitting right taking notes like, "You did what again?"
What?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, man, back in the day, I would have tried out for that.
Wow.
I would have tried out for that.
Wow.
For real.
Donna is truly an adventurous.
Hey, you never know. You never know. I might get a feature role on Cirque du Soleil, Michael Jackson. The oldest woman on this tour. You never know.
I'm still trying to figure out how Donna older than us and still look younger than us. Why she
wow.
Look younger than us. Hey, she look younger than us. She's more
act
active.
younger than us? Yeah. What's the deal, Art?
Let me tell you something. I wasn't trying to do.
Right.
I wasn't trying to do nothing on my birthday. I was like, I'm good. I'm like,
Exactly. Yeah, I'm taking a nap, player. I'm sleep all day. Me and you ain't living right, Art.
oh my God.
The secret is this to being young is staying young here.
Yeah, you're right.
Staying young in your mind.
Yeah.
Make sure your body is able to do some things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you gotta exercise. I don't exercise as much, but I really decided, even when I was in Vegas, I was like, you know what? I want to live here long enough so that I can spend time and do things like that, trampolining, skating and stuff with Max, who is 9.
Wow.
And then Miles is 1. So
Gotcha.
I want to do stuff with them.
Come on
I
now.
want them, this is my yaya. We doing some stuff,
Me and Yaya out here having a good time. Hold on, when we come back, I want to talk more about that because you that is a perfect segue into today's conversation about grandparents and living your best grandparent life. And so what Donna is already telling y'all, you can have a good time as well as be a good grandparent. Let's talk about it. When we come back, y'all, we get into the conversation today. Are you a deadbeat grandparent? Don't get mad at me. Again, I'm not shooting no throwing no stones. I ain't shooting no darts. Just asking the question. All right? Do me a favor. Let everybody know that we on. Let everybody know what we talking about. If you know some grandparents out there, call them up. If you know some grandkids, call them up and let's have this dialogue. This is the Akintunde Show, y'all.
One of the best stories that I have in satisfying one of our clients happened just recently. We had a young lady that was did a family reunion for, and then they came back and placed a reorder. Now, when they placed the reorder, we could not get everything done in time. Well, we had to pull a lot of strings, make some things happen, work a little bit late, but it worked out where we were able to get the t-shirts printed and out for delivery. That's the things that we do for our clients, and we want to do that for you as well.
It's easy to become frustrated when ordering branded products and apparel, but P&B Promotionals is here to help ease those frustrations with their over 800,000 promotional products and apparel. Whether screen printed t-shirts, embroidered polo shirts, stadium cups, umbrellas, or mugs, P&B Promotionals has just what you need. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. That's pbpromotionals.com or send an email to info@pbpromotionals.net. info@pbpromotionals.net.
Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all. I had to. Y'all noticed us cut one of the commercials. So what we figured out the other day was, because you're dealing with social media, and sometimes you don't know why things do what they do. What we learned is there's a song in that Wellsprings Family Medicine promo that causes YouTube and Facebook to shut down the stream.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was wondering why at certain points, I would get an email saying your stream or your live is limited and it can't be this and can't be doing this, and it gives me the exact point of where it was limiting it, and it turned out to be that spot. So they have to send us a new promo. So that's why I had to pull it. But yeah, stuff you learn, y'all. If y'all knew all the details and small things that sometimes happen that you have to be concerned about, particularly now, it's even more because now you're talking about social media, you're talking about the streaming platforms are actually changing. So it's you have to really constantly be learning and figuring out what's going on and this and that. So yeah, wonderful stuff. Wonderful life, wonderful process. It's all good though. All right, family, this is Akintunde Show. Donna's back from Vegas, 65. Yes. Let's say right now, happy birthday, Donna.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and we gotta make sure that me and Pastor Tuck gonna get together, figure out what we're gonna do to do something special for Donna, 65.
Y'all gonna go skydiving with me or something? Something like that.
I'll drive the plane.
I ain't sure if I even go up there with you. I don't even.
You once told me if Eunice said yes, but she was hesitant, so I don't know if she.
She was.
So and I know you're happy about that.
As long as the insurance paid them, Eunice is good.
I had to do it a week when they fighting. She'll say, yeah, go ahead, take them on up there.
Long as the insurance paid up. Let me make sure the premium's straight.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't know who's gonna be left when I leave for you. They're gonna be right. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna be right. But no, I don't. I have no desire to jump out planes. I jump out planes every day with being an entrepreneur. It's a faith walk every single day out here in these entrepreneurial streets. So yeah, that's the adventure I get.
That's jumping in the fire. Yeah. That's what that is, jumping in the fire.
I told people a long time ago, I have no fun simulating death. That's not my pastime.
Even
I don't even look at it like that. I just look at it that it looks fun. Let's try it. I never even think about that. That something could happen.
See, that's the
crazy,
problem.
Right?
That's the problem. That's the problem, Donna.
I know.
Plummeting, 30, 40 miles an hour towards the ground. That's simulating death.
It is. I never even thought about that. It is.
Like
that
that.
is.
Yeah. See, people talking these roller coasters, all these things where people are hurling it. I'm like, bro.
Hold on, no, can't talk about roller coasters not past time. I love roller coasters.
Hey, watch them out. Hey, see, once again, simulation of death.
That's that's speed.
The bottom is dropping out of something. That's what that is. That's literally what that is. If you was in a building and the elevator started falling that fast, you would not be going, wee! No, you wouldn't. You would not. You would not. You would not throw your hands up and go, ah!
Hold on.
No, you would not.
Y'all drop in the comments.
Exact same feeling.
If y'all think that either roller coasters or skydiving is a fun activity, a fun thing to get off your bucket list, or something crazy and foolish that you would never do. Y'all drop in the comments.
Like I said, that's because you're not thinking it through. Like I said,
all right. I don't even think about it.
I'm looking at this from the realistic standpoint. And see, the other part is I've worked at an amusement park, and I see how many nuts and bolts are under roller coasters every day.
That is true.
Wow.
That's true.
Wow.
But there's more that goes
I've been there watching them clean up those every day. And I'm like, you can't find out where all of those come from every day because there's too many of them down there every day.
Jesus.
And I'm talking daily.
But that's like going, when people tell me, I'm scared to fly. I don't want to fly. I'm scared. I'm like, we might crash. But in reality, I mean, yeah, it's 50-50 chance you're going to make it. But however, there's more people that make it safely than ever that have passed from flying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, it's just the odds. It's the odds.
Hey,
and some people don't want to.
No.
They're not gambling with the odds.
Hey, there's a whole city where they play the odds, Donna.
That's
and when
where
I go
I just
there, that's
came
not what I
from.
do. That's not what I do when I go there. I go there, I
Yes.
eat, shop, and I watch the shows. I do not go there to gamble because I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, I lost some money. I ain't lose a lot. But I lost a little bit, but
See? Now think about it. You
That was
lost
the
some money.
odds.
You can mess around and those same odds when you jumping out that plane. What are the odds?
I don't even consider it, when I do something or when I go somewhere or I'm flying, I don't consider it 50-50. I'm 100%. I'm going to land. I ain't worried about flying because I know I got to fly. I got to get where I got to go.
I got to get
I don't necessarily have to get on a roller coaster. And I definitely ain't got to get on a plane and then go jump out it. That's for sure. Okay.
Exactly.
Well.
If I get on a plane, I plan on deboarding at the other stop when it touches the ground.
Right.
Yeah, there's other things that you could do that a little less. Like I really
I'll take
have
you to the
never
gun
been,
range, Donna. How about that? I'll take you to the gun range. Hey,
I've
come
never
on. Come on.
been skiing like in Aspen or someplace like that. I've never been skiing there. So that's one thing I want to do. I like
Falling down the stairs real quick. No, that's not cool. That's
On
not
ice.
cool. Once again.
Falling down the stairs on ice. That's the whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's,
Yes.
Like I said, they're finding ways to simulate dying.
Now, what about horseback riding, roller skating? Because I do those too.
I like roller skating.
okay.
I don't do it a lot, but I do. I'm cool and open to roller skating. I definitely I'm trying to think how many times I've done it as an adult. I think I've only horseback ridden one time as an adult. Yeah. So
Now,
Well, see, now that you can do that.
yeah.
And
see,
you can go as slow as you want. We're going to do that.
roller skating, no.
No?
See,
The black
there
cowboy
are
is
two
coming.
things that discriminate against me. That's gravity and inertia.
Okay.
See, they work harder against me than they do you and Akintunde. You understand?
All right.
I used to tell them when I used to be an engineer, we'd be out here on these jobs, and we'd have these big machines, and everybody up there. I said, I'll do the stuff down here. They were like, man, come on, climb on the scaffold. I'm like, no, gravity is not the big man's friend, and neither is inertia, and that's why I don't skate.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, and you got to, and
Right.
particularly, I'm big on this right here. I don't try to do nothing else that can cause me any type of injuries because I know the older you get, the longer it takes to recover from injuries. So I don't play that even when I go play sports. When I play basketball, I let them dudes know, hey, I ain't out here trying to win. I'm trying to sweat. Y'all, this is important to y'all. I'm gonna go home feeling good whether we down 4 points, 6 points. I'm good. Yo, okay, you dunked on me, bro. I'm good, sir.
No, see, you still playing with guys that can dunk. You playing with the wrong folks. You need to play with folks your age.
Oh no. It's some dudes out there my age that can dunk. Oh yeah.
Hey, if they still out there like that, they still trying to act like they got something to prove. No, player,
It's a
you
whole
need to go
bunch
find somewhere else to play.
All the old players out there who still play and got some hops and got some skills. Y'all see Pastor Tuck talking trash that y'all either can't dunk or shouldn't be dunk. I got you.
No,
I got you.
I'm like, if that's the case, you need to go find you one of them leagues. Y'all go in to get that. That's not who I'm playing with.
Hold on.
I ain't playing with y'all.
So my church y'all never had a church league team?
Hey, no. Yes, we did, but that's what my sons in ministry did.
Okay.
I was on the side coach.
Whitewater rafting.
We brought home the trophy too, because I had some high flyers.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Whitewater rafting. That's the next one. That's it.
Listen, y'all, it is open enrollment season, and the Wendy Mills Agency is looking for you. A licensed broker specializing in senior health care and Medicare, as well as other ancillary products, such as dental and vision. They also have some great insurance plans, life insurance plans for all ages. For more information, give Sister Wendy a call at 843-496-9735. That's 843-496-9735. Make sure you let her know that you heard about it on the Akintunde Show, the Wendy Mills Agency. All right, family. Listen, y'all, we're about to get into the conversation for today. Let's get into this topic. Are you a deadbeat grandparent? Okay. For the record, Pastor Tuck and I could easily be grandparents in terms of age. We're both 52 years old. None of our children have blessed us yet with grandchildren, but we foresee that coming somewhere in the future and at the appropriate God ordained time, right?
Amen. On God's schedule.
On God's schedule, right?
Amen.
So we don't have any. So I want that to be clear up front because I don't want nobody to think that I'm in any way talking trash for the grandparents or talking trash for the millennials, right? Or for the young people, right? But so where does this topic come from? Okay, there's an article in the New York Post, all right? And that article turned into a whole story on the morning news, and they're talking about that grandparents today are not available. One story actually mentioned that was a 65-year-old grandmother, and for her birthday, she went to Vegas as opposed to being there for her grandkids. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. It did not.
Donna,
It was in the paper.
you made the paper.
On the internet, but viral.
I'm joking. I'm teasing. But no. I mean, so just all the grandparents, first of all, when y'all hear that, okay, I got a whole joke about it. So I know there's some credence and merit to this whole thing. Grandma has changed. This is not the grandma of my day. This is not even the grandma of the generation that came behind me. Okay,
grandma's a contestant on the Golden Bachelor right now.
Hey, that's right.
Oh, I have not seen that. I first of all, I know. I have family members who like to watch The Bachelor. I'm not calling nobody name, but I just refuse to watch The Bachelor. And I'm definitely not watching no Golden Bachelor. Who want to sit around and watch one dude? We gonna watch one man, an older man, just kiss on and hug on a bunch of grown women who got grandkids. Who want to see their grandma on there pawning and panning over some one dude? Why is grandma playing her stuff like that? These young girls silly enough to do that. Y'all, okay, I'm sorry. Pastor Tuck started that. Pastor Tuck started that.
Hey, I just saw the commercial the other day and I was like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, but it really does beg to question. Like what is up? Have we, Donna? This is a question, and I'm asking you. Okay, all right. I'm asking you as my big sister, okay, and as a grandparent. Is there any credence to what the young people are saying? I see y'all in the comments. Sister Jean got a whole paragraph in it, so I know she got something to say. I just glanced on there and saw it, so I know she about to pop off. But I'm saying, Donna, do you think it's any credence to what this? You read the article in detail, okay? Is there any credence to the thought, the thinking that grandparents are not available today?
First of all, my first thought was these entitled.
Say it, Donna. You just took it out. You
So,
took the words out of my mouth.
But because I couldn't form those words and feel like I was still a Christian.
Hold on, let me move down the mic closer.
Okay, all right. You can set it on there.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry about that.
I want to make sure they hear exactly what you're saying.
I was saying these entitled.
So-and-sos. He's entitled so-and-sos.
That's how I felt.
Oh my God.
I told Ock this, and I'm gonna say it on the show because we're grown. We're watching.
Go ahead and say
But my friend used to always say, "I didn't lay down there and get that nut."
God.
That's what my friend.
Jaleel,
she's 70 years old.
Mark the time, so you have to edit that out.
That's what she said. I didn't lay down and get none of that.
Hold on.
Daily I shine.
Mark the time.
Hey,
she told the truth. And I'm gonna tell the truth too. I didn't buy any cashews. No cashews, no almonds, no peanuts, no macadamias, no Brazilians.
Look what Pastor Tuck when we had to edit all that out.
Hey, Donna said she didn't buy any of those.
I didn't.
My God.
So you're saying I have to do that because you did. So now you expect me to do this. Oh, that time has changed.
Oh wow. Okay, so all the children, okay, who have children and you want grandma. Y'all hear grandma? Is Donna speaking for all the grandmas? Let me see what Sister Jean said. She said, "I celebrated my AARP birthday on a roller coaster. My last hurrah with that one. I'm happy to stay on the ground. I hear you, but I'm good with flying. I think helicopters are awesome, and I enjoy traveling by plane. Would you do the obstacle course at Riverbank Zoo? I have not done it.
I would.
Okay, that sounds fun. Maybe that's something we should go do for the show.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, Sister Jean also added, definitely not a deadbeat. My grands and I have our own private group chat, and they all have the access code to the house. Okay.
See?
Okay.
She's not.
Okay.
But they don't. Your kids didn't expect you to do that. Did they expect you or feel that this is something that you had to do? I love my grandkids. I have two, Maxim and Miles, 9 and 1.
Yes.
And I spend time with them as much as I can. However, it's never like, well, you need to be watching my kids. You need to be coming. You need to come. Oh, no, honey. My daughter already knows. She said, Mommy, I know you're busy. Yes, I'm busy. I'm busy. And I do as much as I can do for them, which is a lot.
Okay. So if Max or Miles got sick and had a stomach flu, okay, would they be clear to be at grandma's house all for the rest of the week?
No, because grandma has to work. Grandma has to work.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, this the thing. This the thing, Ox. See,
and they live an hour from me. So.
Okay.
But see, this is the thing that we're talking about. We're talking about two different things.
Right.
We're talking about grandparents being there when they're needed or when they're wanted.
Right.
Okay.
Because if Miles was sick, and even if Donna wasn't working, and she lived close by, then of course Donna wouldn't be running off to Vegas if Jenna needed to go to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course she was going to be there.
Yeah.
But if you think that Donna said, I'm not going out, so you and Quan can go run the street, you got another thing coming.
We got to talk about that.
And that's what they talking about.
No. Okay, so I'm just playing devil's advocate for the purpose of this conversation. Let's just say Quan and they need to get out. Okay, Quan and Jen are like, hey, listen, we've been working hard, and Quan has been working out of town, and he's back for the weekend, and he's usually working out of town. So, Mama, I need you to come get the kids and just keep them for the whole weekend, or I need to bring the kids and drop them off on the whole weekend so we can have some us time.
First of all, it's not Mama, I need you. Mama, can you?
Okay.
Would you?
Okay.
Would you?
Okay. Right.
And once again, you're talking about an occasional thing. That's not what they talking about.
I see.
They're talking about every day.
When you hear these kind of comments, that's not what they talking about. They talking about they feel like this your job. You a grandparent. I should be able to drop them off anytime I want. I should have free babysitting.
Right.
You should be open like the daycare.
You know how
So
much
I should be able to pull up and drop them off. There ought to be a car rider line, just like at your house, like at the daycare. Anytime I need to go somewhere, anytime I want to go get my nails done, anytime I want to go to the club, anytime we want to go out of town, I ought to just be able to pull up, open the door, drop them off, and keep it pushing.
Now, two things
you should have thought about that before you had children.
Two things I want to
macadamia.
two things I want to clarify. All right, so it's a difference between an entitled raggedy parent that just want to drop their kids off at their mama and daddy house,
right?
And when at will, don't want to take responsibility the responsibility that's required when you are a parent. Because once you have children, life changes, game change. It ain't game over. It's a new game. It's a different game now. Period. Okay,
and that's where the real problem exists. Because watch this, when we do marriage counseling, one of the things that we tell all of our couples. We instruct all of our couples. This is the advice we give them. Wait 2 years before having children. And they're like, 2 years? And everybody looks at us with this bewilderment like, why?
Wow.
Because 2 years you can be selfish. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all can travel. Y'all can go out.
Yeah.
Y'all can take girls trips, boys trips, if that's what y'all do. That's not our thing, and we don't even advise that.
Yeah.
But if that's what y'all want to do, then y'all do that. But y'all can spend the money the way y'all want to spend it. Y'all can do whatever. I said, because at the moment there is a crying mouth, everything changes.
Everything
right.
changes, and you have to respond. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Somebody got to deal with that situation. I don't care what time you went to bed. I don't care what time you got to get up. Somebody got a fever. Let's go to the emergency room. It don't matter what how you feel about it, what you think about it, what you got to do. All bets are off now. That's
And
the
it
game
don't
changer.
even matter if y'all having an argument. That's the reason why most marriages who have children early on struggle, because you never get to resolve anything. Y'all
Yeah.
had an argument, and see, in the early stages of our marriage, Pastor Stephanie and I would have an issue. We up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning having an issue. We go to work the next morning tired, eyes swollen up from crying, hoarse from arguing, whatever it is. But we settled that night. You can't do that if you got a 2-year-old, a newborn that's going to be up in the next 2 hours.
Nope,
right.
you sure can't.
So now you don't see that argument again 3 weeks later.
And guess what? Eunice and I can attest to that because there's too much other stuff going on, and then it's like you done got loud. Look at what you did. You done woke the baby up. Well, God dang it, should be woke up. It's like listen.
And so
that's
that
factual.
issue is never settled, and it always comes back. And so now it takes you a year and a half to settle something that could have been settled in one night because
but here's
you
the
didn't
thing.
have that clean ground.
Here's the thing. I get that. But here's the thing. We're not talking about that scenario. We talking about the scenario of the kids are here, okay? And and the young people are saying that the grandmas and granddaddies is not available.
But that's
right.
why. Because you
Wait,
That's
hold
why,
on.
because you got kids before you got you out your system.
Time out. That's not the case. Listen, I agree with that too. Trust me, I agree with that. But that's not always the case. The question of it is sometimes, and again, I'm not advocating for either or. I'm saying I think it's both. It's both scenarios. I think it's relevant. I don't think it has to be mutually exclusive for anyone. So
no, you're right.
But I'm saying some of the grandparents today is not available on grandparent duty because maybe they haven't pulled the grandparent position. Maybe I'm not all talking about Donna. I'm talking about some grandparents are not there. So I think it's some grandparents should be on post, but they not because they still doing young folk stuff, okay, and not available at grandparent time.
And some of that's twofold. Some of it's because, like you said, some of them should be what we say, acting their age.
Yeah.
They still trying to be in the street when they should be out.
Oh, you cussing? You just cussing?
Yeah.
You say
I'm just telling it like it is.
Oh.
Some of us need to let it go. And we just have chosen not to. But the other part is some of it, we've been made grandparents prematurely.
Okay.
And we weren't ready for that.
That's right.
Okay, Donna, the lone grandparent in this conversation. Because me and Pastor Tuck saying a whole lot.
You are.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Grandmom?
I definitely agree with what you're saying, but I am also I'm gonna say but I'm gonna say however.
Okay.
However, we're at an age where we can choose to help or not help. And is that you gonna hold that against us because we choose not to? You know, I mean, even if they choose to be out in the street and they want to, you know, you made us grandparents. Maybe we weren't ready to be grandparents, and so you're living your life. So now I do get that you might need help. Okay, so I'll be there for you when I can be there for you.
Okay.
But don't demand me to be there for you. You want to drop the kids off and come and go as you please, leave them there as long as you want, and then come back and pick them up and expect them to be fed and washed and hair done and everything, clothes washed, pressed, whatever, and then you can just pick them up, take them, bring them back dirty or whatever. You know, I'm just saying.
Right.
But you want to bring them back and let us raise them.
Yeah.
And keep them. And then we're not supposed to have. When is it our turn? And I'm being kind of self-caring and selfish at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
When is it my turn to live out my dreams?
Okay, this
You
is
know?
so this is a
And
rich,
they don't understand that.
multi-level layered conversation because I can see it again. I can see it on both sides, right? And I see the argument. I see the challenge. I see the angst of the grandparents. I see the position, the argument, and the angst of the parents who are wanting help. So here's the question:
they need help,
right? So because they need help. So like, and here's the thing. Life doesn't always operate the way we like it to. Right, like so. Pastor Tuck says, "Hey, 2 years is the time that you should wait, ideally, before you start having kids."
Right.
Guess what? Ideally, Eunice and I didn't do that. Okay, when we got married, we was 2 years celebrating our 2-year anniversary. Deja was already here, and she was our third child. Okay, so mama and grandmama, my mama and Eunice mama and her father, they used to help us out. They would do things. They would run and pick up kids and take this person, that person. They had no choice in the matter. Well, I shouldn't say they had no choice in the matter.
I was gonna say they had a choice. They wanted
They had
to.
a choice.
They did have a choice. But,
Right.
so it's not that they didn't have a choice. Well, but I'll say this: They helped out.
They didn't choose.
Right.
They didn't choose not to.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and it wasn't perfect. Again, my mom is 22 years older than me, 21 years older than me, right? So that means when I'm having my first child at 23, that means she's 44, 45, right? Right.
Exactly.
Right. So no, I had my first child at 21. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So she's 42. She's in her early 40s.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she probably felt like she was made a grandparent prematurely.
She was.
yeah.
Well, she
Yeah.
was. She
Yeah.
was made a grandparent prematurely because we wasn't married.
Right.
Yeah, and we both was in college. Well, Eunice was in college. I was supposed to be going back, but never did. But another story.
No,
Anyway,
but I'm not even talking about from a standpoint of the situationally. I'm just talking about from a standpoint of her age. She's probably like, I ain't ready to be no grandma. I'm just ready to be like Donna said. I'm still ready to live my life.
I'm still I'm not saying she was going to the club, but at 44,
No, she was
some
still
of
in
them
her
were still
prime.
in out dancing and partying and carrying on.
Yeah. She was still in her prime.
yeah, my mama wasn't. She wasn't. She never
Wearing
said
mini
for the club.
skirts and
But okay. So but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Are we as grown folks and as children? Are we operating out of season some places in our lives?
of course.
All right.
Sure.
So because here's one thing that the millennials mention in that argument. And again, this article is primarily coming from the perspective of the younger person.
Right.
All right. So to be clear about that, if you go out there and reread it, you'll see that, right? Because Donna was reading, she said, "Oh yeah, I can tell." She said, "A millennial wrote this." Yeah, hey, y'all millennials, y'all got such a bad rep that she was like, oh, she was like, this person is entitled. But
This is my child.
but one thing they said that was, so this wouldn't be the case so much for Donna, and definitely not my mom. But they said that a lot of millennials are having children older. So they're waiting 35, 40 years old to start having kids. So now your children are teenagers, but mom and daddy is 70, 80. They don't have the time or the energy to do all that grandparent stuff that they would have done. Because in my case, okay, my mama is well, I'm not gonna tell her age, but she is still young and spry, right? To a degree, right? She probably, I'm sure she would agree with that on some level, right? But we done. So them jokers out the house and working on their own. We still got two live in the house. But my point is saying that is I cook for you and Eunice and I. Eunice cooks for me and her. We shop for each other. We're not shopping for a whole house full of kids. And I look at a lot of my friends who have children older. even some who used to clown me because we had y'all got man, you 27 got all them doggone kids. Guess what? I'm done early too. I'm done. Like so, my point, and I know friends who got kids. They my age, and they got young kids. They got a 7-year-old. I'm like, woo, great day, God. like, and particularly today. I'm like, man, boy, them folks be mad with me at school because it's a whole different ball game. So the article posed the question that a part of the issue is the fact that millennials waited longer to have kids. So they did what Pastor Tuck said on steroids. Pastor Tuck said, hey, I suggest you wait 2 years. Some of them waited several years to get married, and then some more years to have kids.
Yeah, a lot of them waited till they in their mid-30s. Didn't even start having kids, or approaching 40s, didn't even have kids.
So let's just say, okay, let's say your parents were 30 when they had you. You wait till you 40 to have a child. That child is now 7, 8 years old doing the karate thing. Got dentist appointments, all of that. Guess what? That means you 78. You're 78 with a grandchild with a full life, right? Not 58. Or not 68. You 78.
That's what FaceTime for.
See. So guess what? So now the millennials like, Mom, Dad, you should be there. Mom and Dad, like, hey.
That's what FaceTime for.
I ain't got time for that. I gotta go to the doctor's office.
Send it to me.
Yeah, I gotta go to the doctor. You better be taking me to the doctor's office.
All right. Okay.
The
So
kids.
it's a couple things in this whole thing. Like you said, from the grandparent side of things that I don't think we even mentioned either, is like teenage moms.
Oh yeah.
She has a child. She raising them up, so she never really got to be young.
Right.
So now you grown. She's trying to enjoy her life now, but now you go and have a child, and you expect her to be a grandma. She ain't having that. She ain't going for that.
So you saying in the scenario, you saying the teenage mom had a child at 16.
Yep.
So then she is that child is now 16. She 32.
Yep.
Okay. Let's say the child makes it out of high school, has another child, has their first child at 19.
Yep.
She just 35. Okay.
Yep.
So
now you want her now you want her to babysit and help you raise a child. She like, I just finished with you.
30 and 35 is young.
I never got to really be a child or a young adult because I was raising you. Not doing that.
Okay, so then here's the question then. In that scenario, who's right?
Can you blame her?
Can you blame her? She had a child young.
Okay.
But she raised her child.
She raised her child.
Okay. Yep. And now her child's had a child and now needs help.
So now her child needs to do the same thing she did.
We're back to macadamias and almonds.
But guess what?
That is again. Like Don said, she didn't buy the cashews at that point.
Who's to
when
say?
She bought her cashews, she took care of those.
Guess what? But who's to say? Who's to say that she didn't have help? I'm
not saying
she could have, but it's her choice.
But she may not have, and that might be why she feel like she feel.
Okay, go ahead, Jaleel. Hop on in here, Jaleel.
Trying to move my notebook over.
That joke went back there taking notes on this conversation.
No, I'm trying to get the times.
This is an open and honest conversation.
Yeah.
No cutting.
Put on this one,
no cutting. This is an adult conversation. We talking about adult things.
Nah, you
So
got
the one you sent off to the radio station, you just cut this out for it. Brother Tunde, Sister Donna said.
I'm just cutting out the one part. I'm cutting out just the one part. Just the one part we discussed earlier.
But Jaleel, what's your thoughts? I mean, in your opinion, you still don't have no kids yet.
No.
You ain't about to tell me nothing on air, is you?
No, God, no.
Jaleel like, but Dad, I had something to tell you. But,
that's crazy. First of all, I wouldn't tell you on the air anyway. That's crazy. I lied through my teeth. I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't.
I'm trying to tell you, if you did, Jaleel, we would make TV history because I would be laying in the floor.
You're gonna see Pastor faint in real time. Huh?
I wouldn't faint. I would be laying on the floor crying, laughing at Ox reaction.
Right?
Watching him faint on TV.
Lord, no.
He would really get turned up.
No.
Go to break.
Go to break, Julio. Go to break. Go to break. Doggone it, I said go to break.
Go to break right now.
First of all, you got to imagine how unprofessional it'd be for me to even say, Dad, listen, I got to clear something up there. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Go to break.
I do have a child. I do have a child. He just disappeared.
Mike falling all across the table.
Right. Eyes are pappy. Eyes are pappy, a dad child.
Walking right out.
Oh my God.
But Jaleel, they talking bad about y'all millennials. So in this article, the article not talking bad. Don and Pat Tuck talking bad about y'all. What you think, Jaleel?
It's complicated. I've always had a rather negative relationship with people's criticisms towards millennials because I've always felt that they're just overly critical. And I'll be honest, I don't like complainers. I don't like when I complain. I don't like when people fuss or complain about things as well. I don't know why. I think the reason why is because when people fuss about things too much and nothing changes, I start getting irritated. I'm like, well, what are we gonna do differently? That's just me differently.
Yeah. Why we keep breathing it to death?
Right.
We keep exactly. I get irritated about that sort of stuff, but I do understand that there's some genuine points to be made. I think more so what I'm thinking about in this situation is because I wonder, like, in terms of what y'all were just talking about, if a person has a child too young, yes, sure, you probably raised them not to do that. They did it anyway, had the child, decided to keep it, now they're raising it. Why the parent may feel, understandably, hurt and upset or disappointed, and may feel that, hey, this child is your responsibility. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff for you. It does take a village to raise a child, and depending on how young that person is, they're going to need a village around them. So I feel like regardless of your feelings, sometimes you got to move past stuff and help the young person out. Because taking care of a child on your own, I've got some friends or people I've known who've had children earlier, and they got more than one. And I may not be a parent, but that's no joke. And I can only imagine the pressure when the father's out the picture, or the father lives in another city, so they're not the ones actively, consistently taking care of them on a day-to-day basis. The father just visits and whatnot. It does take a village. So I feel like sometimes some parents won't do this, and that just kind of is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is. But some parents, I feel like you got to remember, hey, this kid needs help. Yeah. Even if you mad at the daughter, at least think about the daughter too, but think about the granddaughter or the grandson even more so.
Yeah,
because
very valid.
And they're gonna need that.
Yep.
Okay, so with that point being made, when we come back, I want to get into this side of it. Responsibility is not convenient. Okay, now because I hear the grandparents giving their perspective on it about it's not their responsibility, or they shouldn't have to do it, or I didn't do this, or I didn't tell you to do that, or I didn't, like Donna said, okay. But guess what? Sometimes life don't always give you what you expect or want, right?
That's right.
So my question to the grandparents, this right here, I'm gonna stop the music for this. What about if something happens to the grandparents where they need the assistance of kids and grandkids? Guess what?
She's on the other foot.
I ain't tell you to smoke them cigarettes. I ain't tell you to eat all that pork. I ain't tell you to not plan your retirement. I ain't tell you not to make sure you have everything properly positioned for you to have all the type of care that you want. But guess what? Life is life. We got to stand up. Sometimes life be life, and it don't always work out the way we want it to. When we come back, shoe on the other foot. Let's talk about it. Grandparents, all right? Be careful what seeds you sow. Let's get into this conversation, family. This is the Akintunde Show. Are you a deadbeat grandparent? I know nobody in the room and on watching this live is not. Anybody in recording and watching the recording? Might be. I don't know. Let's see. We'll be right back, y'all.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works, and we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all. We having this conversation. Are you a deadbeat grandparent? Ooh, listen, I'm just asking. I'm just pondering the thought, considering. Is there any credence to the statement? Is there any possibilities that this may be true? Okay, so first of all, the comments, y'all got some good comments up.
On fire.
Yes. Yes.
Again, the topic stems from an article in the New York Post that was actually New York Times or New York Post on it.
New York. I think it's the Post.
Post, okay, New York Post, and I want to make sure y'all know so y'all can go and look at it, read it. But again, it's an article that suggests that grandparents are not available where they used to be. Now, I can tell you right now, even though that wasn't the case for Eunice and I, okay, you know, and I know Donna is always making arrangements and switching up her schedule. Hey, I got to, you know, Max has this or Miles has that, so I'll be, you know, doing this. I'll do that. I won't be available for that. So this is not the case for anybody in this room. And like I said, that wasn't the case for Eunice and I. Now, truth be told, our oldest is 30 now, so that was a long time ago. Okay, but to that point. The article is making the assertion that grandparents aren't available as they were or as they expected, because they don't have anything to compare it to necessarily. Okay, it's not like they you know, like they watched or saw this, or they assumed that their grandmother, their mother or father would be available for the grandkids. And in this case, based on the article, not as much. Okay, all right. So the question becomes is what's the reason behind that? All right. So y'all got some comments, but I got a question. Okay, so let's get into the comments. Like what you see, Pastor Donna? What you see in the comments?
Oh wow. First of all, I see Rob Pop Earl said there's a vast difference between can you and will you, and that's what we were talking about, being entitled. Yeah. Because can you watch or will you watch better than you watching? You know, that's a big thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. My minister, Karen Robinson, said available when we want to be.
All right.
Gene Singleton Stewart said, however, grandparent is not parent. My time is optional.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Pop Earl said, Donna, are we referring to cashews or chocolate covered almonds?
Pop Earl. I'm trying to get us to move on. And I know he cracking up. Right. That's funny.
That's it right
Oh, that's
there.
funny.
Yep.
That is funny.
He also said there's a difference in the mindset of grandparents in their 30s and a grandparent in their 60s. And there really is a different and a drastic mindset in difference.
Okay, so but here's the question. All right, so going to break, I asked this question and it's valid, right? The reason why I say this is because life be lifing, and life don't always work on the schedule that you prepared for, wanted to, desire, or think it should.
That's right.
Right.
Before we go there,
go ahead.
This article said that these two sisters were initially put off by their 71-year-old father's decision to move to a luxury resort in Mexico.
Okay.
Right. That's right.
Now, that in itself was kind of
entitled.
That throws me.
Yeah.
That's why
it screams entitlement. It screams entitlement.
Because I'm like, if y'all decided that you and your husband had taken another job and were gonna move to Phoenix and leave him in South Carolina, y'all were not gonna consult him.
Clearly not. The whole, again, as I said, the whole position, the whole point of view of the article is clearly entitlement. But here's the curveball. Let's say dad out there in Phoenix or New Mexico, right, living his best life, mess around and have a heart attack, stroke, something like that. What the girl's gonna do? Hop on the plane. Hop on the plane.
To a luxury resort in Mexico. And Dad had enough money to make sure his care was taken care of.
No. It's not about the care being taken care of. We all know you can have the best insurance in the world, but but in these hospitals today, you need an advocate.
Take it all.
You need they will take it all. But I'm saying, you need to have. But you need to have somebody in there with you, watching over you, because people making decisions, and if nobody's there to watch, no.
Right.
Nobody's been here. The doctor ain't talked to me. This medication, what's that for?
You're right.
So,
but that's still their choice. They still have that choice.
Is it? But
how can they be upset because Pop can live where he want to live if they can live where they want to live?
Okay, let's take it. Let's take it. Bring it back. Let's say it's not the extremes of the article, because again, the article.
No, I just want to deal with that for a moment, because that to me was absolutely ludicrous.
It is, but here's the point though. That's not most people's situation. Most people's situation is mom and daddy cross town. Okay. Mama fell and broke her hip. Okay. Daddy had a heart attack. Okay. Daddy had a stroke. Mama got dementia. Right? Now what's got to happen is it's the kids' responsibility to do what they can for mama or daddy, and do what they can to a degree is really optional, because somebody got to step up, unless that parent is gonna have a problem. Now, guess what? That kid, that young person, maybe 29 years old, mama got early dementia. Didn't plan for it. Don't know what this is. Don't know what caused it. Life is life. What we gonna do about it? And I'm saying that's the flip on that, because guess what? Just like the daughter or son had that baby and that wasn't planned. Guess what? This situation that has come up has to be responded to. It requires a equal and opposite reaction to this situation. So
you want to make this real muddy?
Go ahead and make it muddy.
Me, you, and Donna all come from multi-sibling families.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now you got a situation where the parents could have multiple sets of grandkids.
Yeah.
So let's say the parent they there for one set of grandkids, not there for another set. Not there for another set. And now when the parent has a problem, you say it's a responsibility of the kids. Now what kid gonna do what? Because as we all know, that's never an equitable job.
Never.
Right.
Somebody always got to do more.
That's right.
Every time.
Somebody
That's right.
always has to end up stepping in, and a lot of times it's always the one who got the short end of the stick from them.
Not always, but sometimes it is.
A lot of times
Sometimes.
that's the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And but
I'm just telling you, a lot of times
but the
it
question,
is.
But the question becomes is, guess what? See, here's the whole thing though. When those situations come up, you really can't even get too much in the weeds about that because there's a clear need. You got to whether this is a division of labor, a breakdown of responsibilities. Okay, you gonna be there physically. I got to be there financially, or you gonna be there time wise. I got to be there in help and overseeing or delegation. There has to be some type of strategy to respond to the life situation that has come up.
Right.
And logistics, right?
All right.
So it's never clean.
You
It's
and
never
Donna are
clean.
all sisters and brothers.
Right.
We got a fictitious grandma that raised us. All right. I needed mama raised my kids for me.
Yeah.
Donna couldn't even get her to babysit her kids when she needed them. But in the end, Donna the one taking care of, and I don't even show up.
Maybe it could be that the reason why that she didn't take care of Donna's kids because Donna cussed her out in 1995.
But no, Donna ain't cuss out. No.
Donna cussed grandma out. And when Donna cussed grandma out,
we know Donna stole the rent money, but Donna was a child, and we got to forgive Donna for stealing rent money now.
she better not call me for nothing. Go cuss
sorry,
me
Mama.
out and steal my rent money.
But I never cussed them out, but I did take the rent.
We're not even
one
talking
time.
about any fault of their own. This just some people that's how they do.
Right.
Or sometimes life, but that's so late. It could be so many different reasons why.
Right.
That grandma didn't do nothing for Donna kids. It could be something that happened that didn't allow for that, or maybe their relationship wasn't as such, or maybe it was a problem with Donna's husband. You see what I'm saying? It's layered.
But what I'm saying in this particular scenario, it ain't none of that. It's just the fact that when Donna called, I'm going to Vegas. I'm busy. I'm this. I'm that. But you literally raised my kids. Anytime I call, you move. But when Donna called, she can't ever get no help. But now when you need help, I ain't nowhere to be found.
That's messy.
So then I have to step up.
That's life. These are situations we see all the time.
So here's the question. The question becomes this. Donna kids were not equally cared, provided for, treated a certain way, a good way, right? So the question then becomes is, what does Donna do in that situation? Does Donna say, you know what? Grandma wasn't there for me. Shoot. She done fell and broke her hip. Guess what? That's her problem. She wasn't there for me. She was there for Lewis kids. Let Lewis kids take care of them. Guess what? They not though. So the question that becomes is, what is Donna gonna do?
Thing, because that's what Pastor Tuck taught her.
Okay, so but guess what? Here's the thing. That's the Jesus thing. Look at what you just said. That's the Jesus thing. Then the question becomes is, that swings both ways. That swings both ways for kids and grandparents. Yeah. Sometimes kids, guess what? Life be lifing, and your grandma might not have been the best grandma for you or to you or with you or even to this day. But guess what? Still got to be there for her. Guess what? Grandma, life be lifing. I know them kids was disrespectful and all of that. And guess what? But now that little one done had another child. Guess what? Somebody got to help out. Okay, somebody got to help out with them kids, because if you don't help out, then what's gonna happen? You can say, "Hey, ain't my fault, ain't my responsibility," and from my perspective, I think that's what's happening on both sides. And here's the thing: I want to be clear about something. I'm not saying if you can't. Sometimes you can't help out. Sometimes you're not available, whether that be for time, whether that be for money, whether that be physically or whatever. Sometimes you can't be there, but sometimes it's not that we can't; we just not. And we have legitimate reasons based on our flesh that we can't be there.
Right.
That ain't God. That ain't kingdom. You know,
but like I said, once again, we still got to look at this thing of it's one thing of a need and it's another thing for a want. Me helping you does not mean you taking advantage of me.
I really want to hear what y'all think in the comments. Like, you know, I see Vanzel here. What's up, Van? Van is in the building.
Hey, Vanzel.
Fo Lake is in the house. How you doing, Fo Lake? Pop Earls is in the building. What it do, sir? How you doing, Pop? Gerald is in the house. What's up, Gerald? Kashana is in the building. How you doing, ma'am? Carol is in the house. What it do? Jermaine is in the building. What's up, bruh? Gene Singleton Stewart is represent. Show enough grandma right there. Roshandra, how you doing, ma'am? Good to see you here. So I want to know on Clubhouse, you know, in this scenario, and again, we're not talking about anybody's family dynamic. To be clear,
Right.
no, we're not talking about Donna's children. We're not talking about my mother or mother-in-love. We're not talking about none of that per se. We're talking about this article, but it begs it has brought up this topic, this conversation of the grandparents' game today. It has changed. It's significantly changed, right?
Yep.
On one side, I believe it's entitled millennials who are demanding something that some things are requiring this of their father and the author of the article that they shouldn't. Truth be told, if I'm being honest, I'm like, hey, that's a bit much. That's a bit rich. I don't know what the family dynamics are. I don't know what the dynamics are. I don't know if dad was there or was not. I don't know, but it is what it is now. He's moved to New Mexico to live his best life at a retirement community. All right. Okay. So it feels as though these young people are being entitled, demanding, requiring. Now, Donna found a good point in this article that was interesting. That is as a statistic was mind blowing to me.
35%. I think it was 35% of millennials in the United States. Reading my notes here, still rely on their parents to pay their bills. 35%. That's a lot of millennials in the United States. But 35% of them are still relying on their parents to pay their bills. And
that's a lot. That's 1/3.
Wow.
When we say millennials, what are we literally talking about? The age group millennial?
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're talking about those born at 2000.
What is that?
What's the millennial age,
1990s, mid 1990s, up until like what, early 2000s. What's the millennial range, Jaleel? Somebody drop in the comments if y'all know what that is. Jaleel might be switching. So
to be fair, I don't like labels in general. Millennial keeps the age gap for a millennial keeps fluctuating.
Okay.
I don't
because
know.
I'm never sure when we say that. I don't know if we just talking about young folks, anybody younger than us. I mean, because people throw those terms out there so loosely that you never really know who they talking about.
Google is saying, okay.
Go ahead.
Google is saying millennials is 1981 through 1996, which is why I say that maybe I was on the cusp. But that doesn't make sense to me because the millennium started in 2000. So it makes sense that the latter half of the 1990s going into 2000s would be millennials, and then everything after that is Gen X and so on and so forth. So I'm confused. Not Gen X, Gen
Y.
Z.
Gen Y.
Gen Y, then Gen Z.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am confused.
And Gen Y really is millennials, right? Because we're Generation X.
I honestly don't
Gen
know.
Y is millennials. We X.
Here's how it's set up.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1955 to 1964 is baby boomers. Okay, that would mean somebody between the age of 59 and 68. Okay,
Yay.
I think that's a little low, right? That's a little tight, isn't it? Generation X is 1968 to 1980. That will put someone between the age of 43 and 58. All right, so
if you used to wear an X hat or had an X T-shirt, then that mean that was you. So that falls right. I can remember that because I had plenty of those in my day.
Millennials were born in 1981. That seems very, very high. 1981 to 1996. So now millennials is a 27-year gap. That doesn't really make sense. Generation X is 1965 to 1980, which is a 15-year gap, and baby boomers is only 8 years, 9 years.
Wow.
That doesn't make sense to me. But then it says Generation Z is 1997 to 2012. Okay, so
as the young folk would say, the math ain't mathing.
but whatever the number is, that millennial range is a wide one, right? Okay,
Yes.
so and I know Jaleel, me and Jaleel have talked about this before several times on mic and off mic, right? And he does not like the thought that millennials are thought to be constantly accused of being entitled. Okay, all right. And I understand that, Jaleel. I understand that, but
I don't think it's the millennials. I think it's the ones after the millennials.
no, it's the millennials. But let me say this to you. The baby boomers and Generation X raised the millennials. And the truth of the matter is, particularly Generation X, a lot of this is our fault. I don't even fault so much the baby boomers, because a lot of times them baby boomers are hard nosed. No. And guess what? It's amazing because we frowned on a lot of our parents' parenting style and a lot of stuff they made us do and taught us to do, and then we was like, I'll never do that for my kids. Right. And then we got kids and then gave them everything that we thought they needed. Some of that stuff they didn't need. Some of that stuff they didn't even want. And then what then happens is now this is the everybody get a trophy generation. I'm just keeping it real with you. And then
all my kids backwards.
But you are not, Pastor, you Generation X, and you're not the normal parent.
Right.
You're not the normal parent. Most kids, your kids was in college almost before they got from cell phones. That's not the case today.
I raised my kids like they older than Donna.
Pastor Tuck got a wall phone in the house, y'all. He Kai and Courtney was in there.
Exactly.
But so then what happens is
black and white TVs in here.
So here's what happens. So now you older, right? We got grown kids out here now, and you got. I've said it here before, so I ain't gonna soapbox. But you got grown little boys around here today, out here grown manning, and they want stuff they ain't never earned, right?
Yep.
So, and now they got kids because they got loaded pistols, okay? and they ain't shooting blanks; they firing off, and they multiplying, right? And then they were not fully prepared mentally, okay, responsibility wise, and it's girls and boys, it ain't just the boys. Let me be clear about that. Now these jokers is up having kids, right? And they want you to do some of their work. But guess what? Truth be told, on some level, some of us, it's our fault because we ain't prepared. So now we have to subsidize some of the things that they did not get and receive and learn because we didn't do our job. And we thought our parents was too hard. They prepared us, and then we didn't prepare our kids.
Right.
It's layered.
Yeah, see, I guess that's where I come. I went through too much life to think my parents was hard.
But guess what, Pastor Tuck? You are a needle in a haystack.
He's an anomaly.
Anomaly.
I mean, when I saw my daddy get laid off at 13, and I've been working since 13. What I look like talking about my daddy too hard? I'm like, life out here hard.
Somebody 15 years behind you though. Daddy got laid off, and Daddy never told nobody he got laid off.
What we gonna do?
He never saw it.
What we gonna do?
Daddy
need to work.
Yeah,
Daddy need to work.
Daddy figured it out.
You know,
and
kids went out there and started working. You know, back in the day, the kids went out there and started working. If Daddy got laid off, everybody else had to step up.
Yep.
You know, until Daddy could find, work again.
To your point, I remember this episode of The Waltons. Now, I know I just dated myself big time, but it is an episode of The Waltons, and something happened with the bank, and the bank was calling a note on the house, and it was like, either you pay off the doggone mortgage, or we coming to get the house.
Ooh.
Everybody in the family went to work. They went to work to save the farm. And they did extra this and extra that. Everybody brought their money. The girls was doing extra sewing. Mama was doing extra baking. The boys was going out and doing extra work. And John Boy was doing this and John Boy was doing that. And then by the end of the episode, they had got that money together and paid off the mortgage to the house.
Yes.
The entire family. Daddy wasn't walking around with his head down because of the situation. Mama didn't beat him up or tear him down because of the situation. The kids got behind daddy and they paid off the house. They was grown, but they didn't tear daddy down. And, oh, I can't believe daddy did this. Oh, this some bull jive. Oh, now I got to put up my money. I'm trying to start a family. No. Everybody got on one accord.
I'm moving out.
I'm up out of here. Nobody did that. They paid the house off. Problem solved. How many of us would do that today? How many of us even got kids able to help you, either financially or with some type of labor, some type of help? No, that's not the case because we ain't raising them like that today. Now I'm saying that I know I'm making a sweeping statement. Okay, I'm talking overall. I'm not talking specifically. All right, because there's a lot of people who could have solved that problem, who parents and family and whatever would come to the rescue. So I know I'm making a paint with a broad stroke. But I'm saying that because that's not how we training our young people today, and that's a fact.
You know, that's less than an hour from here.
The Walton's place.
Yeah, that's real. That's a real place.
Is it really?
Yeah, Walton's Mountain is less than an hour from here.
Get out! I never knew that.
It's between here and Charlottesville.
Interesting. We got to go up to Walton's Mountain. I was watching the Waltons the other day. Why you say why? see, Donna want to go skydiving, but she don't want to go to the Waltons.
Yeah, I say that too, Donna. Why? But I've passed it 100 times. I've never gone.
It's Walton's Mountain, so that means it's kind of remote.
You got to drive up there. That's all. That's all that means.
It'd be scary.
But yeah, I passed it 100 times. But it's between here and Charlottesville.
Let me see what the grandparents saying here. Gene Stewart said these kids will go out and sell weed to get that money.
They'll go broke because they'll smoke all the weed before they sell it.
Pop Earl said Pastor Tuck is an abnormal parent. Yeah, that's real talk right there. Yeah, that's facts. That is facts. But you know, it's amazing though, because to that point, a lot of things that time is something else, boy. Time will teach you, it will show you, reveal to you the strength of your thoughts, your decisions, or your opinions, and time will also reveal to you just how wrong and bad and off you were. And a lot of things that my kids used to complain about, they did not see when we were coming up. When they were coming up, they see it now, and I applaud them for coming back and saying, you know what? Now I get this. Now I understand that. Now I'm seeing it in real life. And truth of the matter is, I think that we're seeing some of this stuff on both sides, with children and with parents. And I think this whole conversation around, you know, our grandparents today, you know, showing up as they used to, I think it's a nuanced, multi-layered conversation. It's not just one thing.
That's right.
It's not just one thing. You know,
it's one of the greatest jokes I heard years ago. But guy said, he said, when I was 16, I think my dad was the dumbest cat I ever met. He said, when I turned 21, he said, I was amazed at how much he learned in 5 years.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you know, I always say, you know, when you're in your 20s, you think you know everything. And you get in your 30s, you realize you didn't know nothing. Like you out here making severe mistakes.
And that's why it's so much stuff that I advise people not to do, that the world advises them to do. Because I'm like, you don't even realize how much your life changes. You know, from 16 to 18,
right?
From 18 to 21, from 21 to 25, you become who you are until you hit about 27, 28.
Right.
You haven't even stabilized yet. And you making permanent life decisions all up before then. Exactly. You look at your group of friends, all of your likes, your dislikes, all that stuff has changed so much.
Drastic.
In all of and it changes every few years.
Yeah.
During that period of time. By the time you get to about 27, 28, you done stabilized. And so that's why I try to tell you, I'm like, you going out here and you picking a spouse, you might not even like that same person by that time. I mean, it's like all these life choices we making for life And it's like, dude, you ain't even finished baking yet.
Yep.
Right. All these life choices we making for life.
And if you realize that you married somebody that you maybe wouldn't have 10 years later, you made some decisions that you wouldn't have a few years later. Guess what? You got to walk it out.
You got to walk it out now.
You got to stay in the pocket, huh?
You bought that car.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying in terms of parents and what the grandparents. That's why it goes back to, as we get ready to land this plane, it goes back to, do you really have the option? Do you really have the right? I guess you do have the right, but it's what's the responsibility? There was a time when and not all, because of course, no people, black folks, white folks, southern people, northern people, none of that. We're not a monolith. So a lot of times we make these broad statements about back in the day. And truth be told, it was some whack grandparents back in the day. There was some whack parents back in the day, some whack great grandparents, all of that, right? And then some of them parents, you shouldn't even have them jokers around your kids. Okay, so it's not some big sweeping broad statement that I'm making about our people or people in general back in the day. I will say this: there was more of a familial responsibility in times before. If mama had a stroke and mama can't walk, she got to go to somebody's house. Who gonna watch over mama? It's not an option to put in no long-term care facility. It's not an option to put. Nobody got no money for no nursing home. Nobody got no money for no sanitarium, as you used to call it back in the day. Somebody got to watch mama. And it's the same thing when daughter came over and dropped them kids off on grandma's porch. Grandma wasn't planning for that. Grandma was about to go on a church picnic, about to go on a church trip. Nah, she got kids for the next 7 years.
But you know what, dog? This is the thing we got to be clear about, because we talking about this deadbeat grandparent.
Right.
Once again, it's one thing if the kid's sick. I don't think it's too many grandparents that ain't like, bring them over here. I got them.
Sorry, some of these new grandparents.
It's not going to alter their plans. If you don't, yes, you are deadbeat.
Some of these new grandparents, like, look here.
If that's the case, that you are a deadbeat.
I ain't got no time to be sitting up to St. Jude with you and no baby. I got to go to a spinning class.
If that's the case, you are a deadbeat. Yes, you are. That's it, point blank. That's who you are. But once again, if you want me to keep your kid so that you can go do what you want to do, that's not a deadbeat. That's a choice they have. That is not their responsibility.
Of course, correct.
And we need to be clear about that, because you cannot tell me it's my responsibility so that you can have options. You can't take my options so you can have them.
That's
It
good.
don't work like that.
That's good.
And it's the same thing even on the parental side. It's one thing if mama's sick. Like you said, somebody got to come and take her to the doctor.
Right.
But now you're going to tell me I got to now take away my option so I can take you go play bingo? No, we're not doing that. I don't have to do that. That's a choice, but I don't have to do that. That's an option.
Correct. But here's the question, and I see this in the comments. Maritza on Facebook said families are supposed to work together.
Yes.
Okay. Great point. What does that look like? All right. Maritza also has another, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sis. She has another question down there. She said, when is it my turn to live my dreams? Guess what? Here's the thing. I've heard young people ask that question, and I've heard older people ask that question. Sometimes that's not an option. Sometimes responsibility has dictated that you can't live your dreams right now. Sometimes you got to take care of these kids because you have them. Sometimes your mama's sick and or early. Like I was watching something the other day on the news where a young lady was in her 20s and her mama had dementia, early dementia, like in her late 50s. And her mother lived for several years. So it wasn't like I think she eventually passed. I think I saw it on like CBS Sunday Morning. And she then passed like 10, 15 years later. I know somebody right now who's been taking care of their mother for many years. And she's a relatively young woman. We both know it, Donna. My point is, guess what? I can guarantee you that wasn't in the plans.
But you know what, dog? One thing about it, and like you said, and once again, not to bring any condemnation on anybody else for the situation you may be in, but there are situations we can't control, but then there are some that we can.
That's right.
Right.
When we talk about living our dreams, and there's a reason why we talk about choosing when to get in relationships, when to get married, when to start having sex, when to do these things, because you may not be able to control when your parents get sick or you may have to take care of them, but you have an option as a young person growing up when you start creating responsibility for yourself. You may not have an option for the responsibility that may be thrust upon you as far as, like you said, a sick parent or something you may have to.
Right.
That's a responsibility that's thrust upon you as a young person.
Right.
But those other responsibilities of a child, of a relationship, those are responsibilities you choose prematurely. And then you can't be talking about when is it that chance to live my dream. Your chance to live your dream is when you young, single, and have no responsibilities.
Okay. Here's a flip on that. And Donna, I know you got there's some comments I want to read. I want you to read, and then I'm gonna read a couple of these comments. And I got a question as we go out for our last break. Pastor Stephanie said, "God will give you the grace to forgive, help, and strength to do the unwanted." She also said, "Woo, favoritism. ID. What's that called? I don't know what ID. What's that abbreviation for? You know, that's one of them internet
IDK.
words. IDK. Okay." Pastor Stephanie,
I didn't know. Is that what you're reading? I didn't see the comment.
It's like the second. It's the fourth comment up from the bottom on Facebook. I think at least. Pastor Stephanie also says sometimes parents say, "I don't have to worry about you," so they don't help at all. She continued on. I got to be a Jesus. It's got to be a Jesus way. It's got to be a Jesus way is right. So many of the people in the Bible were mistreated and they still helped, aka Jesus, Joseph, etc. Great point. Selena was, when you were talking a couple minutes ago, Pastor, she gave you a amen. I believe that was on the comment, something you were saying. Donna, go ahead and read your comments, please.
Okay, so Van Zell says choices will always dictate responsibilities. People are too quick to bypass their choices that led to their responsibility.
That's a good one.
Okay. Gene Stewart said, I think a true deadbeat is one who rejects the grandchildren. I have a friend whose child's grandparent won't acknowledge the child as her grandchild.
Interesting.
That's something.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Here's a thought as we go to break. Okay. Let's say you're a son or daughter. Let's say you're a daughter who did the right thing. Right? You never had sex before marriage. You got marriage in your 30s. Right? You didn't have a child. You took Pastor Tucker's counseling session and you decided to wait 2 years and just enjoy your husband before y'all had any children. So now you're 37, 38 years old and you are now pregnant and you got a baby. Right? Your parents are 30 years older than you. They did a similar thing. So now they're 70 years old. And then 5, 6, 7 more years, Junior guy is in karate class, and you need some help. When parents stay 79, 80 years old, you did the right thing. Whose responsibility is it? Who's supposed to help? When we come back, let's talk about that real quick. That's a question, because scenarios in life, it ain't always perfect. It's not always on everybody else's schedule. Sometimes, like folks say today, life be life. And stay right there, family. We almost out of here. This is the Akintunde Show.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been asking Pastor Tuck for that My Church music bed. He won't give it to me because he know I'm gonna hop on it. My church, my church. We talking my church, my church. Ooh, my church, my church, my church, my.
I told you that award you were given was a comedy award. That was a joke.
He won't send me to try. I asked him.
That
Donna,
was a joke.
6 months ago. Let me get that track.
That was a joke.
He won't send it to me. He won't send it to me. He won't send it to me.
Not for actual singing.
We talking about it, y'all. Are you a deadbeat grandparent? All right. Some grandparents in the house too. Again, I'm not coming for nobody. This ain't. Listen. Let me make sure I'm clear. To be clear, this is not any type of passive aggressive public dialogue that me, Donna, or Pastor Tuck trying to do. This ain't none of that. This is an article. This is a topic that was brought on by an article in the New York Post. And to be clear, Donna is very active with her grandchildren. Okay, Pastor Tuck has his grandparent, his parents, and Pastor Stephanie's parents. All four of them have gone on to be with the Lord. He has been blessed now to have some great surrogate grandparents in Mom and Pop Earls. Okay, so that's not an issue for him. Again, like I told y'all, when you listen, I start having children. Both my mom and her dad, they both were very active in helping us out and assisting us, and probably even wanted to do more than what they were allowed to. And then, of course, then we moved out of town. So, of course, we're in a whole nother state, right? So this ain't got nothing to do with our family.
Let's go and tell the truth. Let's go and tell the truth. Jenna sent us this statement because she was tired of her mama going at Vegas and hanging out with us. And so we came on up with it. We just gonna tell the truth about this.
There
Jenna
goes
says,
my
her mama is too old to be out here hanging with us and swinging on trampolines.
I had to say this. Now I'm gonna say this because my grandson said this the other day. I thought it was very cute and it made me feel good as a grandparent. And he calls me Yaya. And I said, so he said, Yaya, I love you. And I said, why, Max? Why you love me? He said, not because you buy me the things I want and everything. He said, but you just put in the best effort. Wow. So I was like, oh,
wow.
Wow. And then he went on to say this about grandparents the other day. He said, I do love you, Yaya. I really do. He said, grannies, he said, they just love Jesus. They love Jesus. Wow. And I said, Max, and Jesus loves them. He said, they're obsessed with Jesus. And I said, okay. I said, and Jesus is obsessed with them too. So,
wow.
Yeah. Wow. So he's something else.
Gotta love Max. Max is a special child. Yeah. And Max know how to get some snacks. See, if I was next, I'd be like, son, what you want? Okay. Yep. Come on and get
you want Yaya to make you some brownies, baby.
Yeah. Yay. I just pull up my phone and say Amazon. Just pick. I just scroll it up. Just pick what you want, Max. Go ahead. Just pick what you want.
Here's a big question.
Tomorrow, baby.
Here's the question, Donna. Here's a question. Here's a legitimate question. Did you tell him to call you Yaya? Was that like one of them special grandma names, or did Max start calling you Yaya?
He called me Yaya, but it's like in Greek, Yaya means grandmother.
Okay.
And I was calling him the little papu, which means the little grandpa, a little papu. But Yaya means grandmother.
I asked you that because a lot of grandmothers today won't let their kids call them grandma.
Oh no, I didn't want
you gotta have
grandma.
some little cooler name, So, grandma,
He just was like, I said, oh, I'm taking Yaya. So you just start calling me Yaya.
What you gonna be,
Me?
Yep, you got to get. He gonna be Pop.
I'm probably gonna be Pop. Yeah. My kids call me Pop now. That's what they call me now.
But what your grandkids?
Well, my boys call me Pops. My boys call me Pop. So.
What your grandkids gonna call you?
I would probably would call me Pop. Yeah, Pop. Yeah, maybe. My boys call me Pop with no S. Okay. My girls call me Dad or Daddy. All right. I would assume that probably the grandkids may put an S on it, Pops or something like that. I don't know, whatever. I'm cool with it. Call me whatever long as you say it respectfully, I'm cool with it. What about you, Pastor? What you want to be called?
I come from a long line of papas.
Papas.
Okay.
Yeah, my granddaddy was Papa, my daddy was Papa, so I'm gonna be Papa the sequel.
And guess what? That makes total sense, right? But see, nowadays, particularly like these new grandmas, they want unconventional grandma names. No, don't have that boy call me grandma.
Grandma.
That's a whole question right there. What's the top unconventional grandma and granddaddy name? It's usually not an issue for granddaddy. Granddaddy, he like, hey, I am who I am. Y'all grandmas be wanting different names though, Donna.
That's right. But my mom was grandma. My mom was grandma to my daughter and other kids. But to Max, who is Max and Miles, who's Jenna's kids, she was Gigi.
Gigi.
Great grandma. Gigi. So
okay.
They called her Gigi.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, we call our grandmama, our grandmother. She was grandmama, and then ironically, my grandma Loretta, we called her Loretta. I don't even know how we started calling her Loretta.
You call her Loretta.
Yeah, that's what everybody called her. So I guess that's why we.
I'm surprised you kept your teeth.
I'm telling you, she called her Loretta.
And I don't know if she told everybody, to
call me Loretta.
Yeah.
Don't be calling me no grandma. Call me Loretta.
I doubt it, but I mean that could have been the case. But by the time I came along, she was Loretta. So yeah, so that's
See,
what
I didn't have the benefit. I lost my first grandma when I was 2.
Okay,
and I lost my second grandma when I was 7.
Oh wow!
So I never had grandmas really growing up.
Really?
I only had one. My dad's mother, because my mom's mother, she had passed before I was even born, and then my dad's. I think I was about maybe 16, somewhere around there, where my grandmother passed.
Okay.
My father's mother.
Read Papa Earl's comment.
Okay. All right. Pastor Tuck was not laughing at Donna's. Pastor Tuck will read something and start laughing at the middle.
I was like, that was
funny. Papa Earl said, Yaya, abbreviated of Yaya means when I throw you away, you'll keep coming back. I'm going to change my granddaddy name from Poppy to Your Highness.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay,
there we go. The king is in the building.
Okay. Carol Chisholm said, "I'm Lolly, and my husband is Pop."
Okay, so Carol, did you tell the kids to call you Lolly, or did they start calling you Lolly?
Jean Stewart said, "I'm Nanny and Gran and Grandma." Nanny.
There goes the question again. Sister Jean, did you mandate that? Or did the kids just start calling you that naturally?
Calling you stuff.
Yeah, because you're right. Because a whole lot of grandmas, they just not ready for that title, so they got to come up with some jazzy name.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. If I would have had kids young at 16 and I'm 35 and I got a little grandson. I probably want nobody to call me grandma, granddaddy, that's your granddaddy.
I know, it's just like granddaddy. How old are you?
I gotta tell you, when I think about that, when I think about how young I was at 35, like particularly now you realize at 52, you realize just how young you were at 35. I couldn't even imagine one of my children being old enough to have kids and me being a granddaddy. But but guess what? That is the reality of life today.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So
see, it was funny. My spiritual sons, like I said, they always call me Pop. Yeah. So one of them had kids, and so his kids used to call me Grandpa.
Yeah.
And they got in the car one day with Pastor Stephen. They called her Grandma. She was looking around like, who's he talking to? That was the funniest thing. That was the funniest day. I mean, she in the car like, because she kept going, Grandma. They like, who is this child talking to?
He's like, you sitting up front next to granddaddy. This is who you are.
That's so funny. Oh man, that's funny.
All right, so again, what was my question?
The question was, whose responsibility?
Yeah.
To help, and who's supposed to help?
So
Like
final
you said,
as we
families
close
work
it.
together. They would do what they capable of doing at that age.
Right.
Uncles, godparents,
Right.
that's what they do. But it's the responsibility of the parents.
Exactly.
You had the kids, they yours.
Exactly.
Okay. Like I said,
Exactly.
I think in many cases we're wanting life to be the way we want it, and sometimes life is just the way it is, and you have to respond accordingly.
That's right.
I had to get up
That's true.
at 2:00 in the morning the other day because one of the kids had a situation with the car. Okay,
Exactly.
ain't
a
had
parent,
Call nobody.
As a parent,
had to get up and go handle it. Okay,
Because they your kids.
That's right.
right.
You couldn't call
but your
nobody.
grandmother,
And I think that's-
Mama
I think
Cheryl
that's
ain't
the
going
part
out
people be
there.
missing.
But guess what? But I'm saying, I would assume that if my father was alive and he was still active, and particularly, hey,
He'll go with you. I don't know. He would have went for you, but he went with you.
But see, that's the thing. Once again, those are options because think about it from this perspective. We keep talking about whose responsibility is it. What if you and your spouse chose to move across country and live somewhere else because of a job, whatever? Who you relying on then?
shoot,
You got to create a
Nobody but
village.
yourselves because these are your kids.
Mom, you can't fly out here.
Right.
These are your grandkids. They never see you.
No.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Jaleel.
I didn't want to interrupt y'all.
Go ahead.
I just want to say because I feel like a lot was said, and there's a lot I want to say, but I think I nailed down what I want to say into like a few short points because I don't know. I get this. I don't know if anybody's going to agree with this, but this is just where I'm at. It may change in a couple of years because I've been changing for years now. But, but this opinion may change. I don't think anybody young or old really owes another person anything. If you're a parent, your job is to parent that child. You raise them as best you can. That's your job. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it, but you have to. Otherwise, you are a deadbeat parent. And that's just kind of what that is. And the kids don't owe the parents anything for them taking care of them either. But the thing is, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, is resentment within families is so insidious, and black people don't know how to apologize sometimes or make things right. So this is what I wrote down. I said, I said, somebody mentioned earlier being upset or bothered by a parent or what they did, but still coming to help them anyway. I said, when are we going to stop making exceptions and do something as it pertains to people being mistreated and still doing right by their family? When we're going to do something different, if you're the child and you didn't, and your kids weren't exactly, catered to or cared for the same way by another set of grandkids in your family or at all if you're the only set of grandkids, then if they show up, or I'm sorry, if the kid shows up to help the parent later on, you gotta be willing to have a conversation. Or if the grandparents come to help the kids for some reason or another, then they gotta be willing to have a conversations, apologize or respect the boundaries and do what you gotta do, in terms of in terms of that. And then lastly,
walking in front of the prophet.
And then lastly, what I said was, if the God option is to seriously be considered in spite of familial pain, then be prepared to have a conversation. Young and old, parent, child, alike. Sometimes parents get into this mindset where I did this for you, and then the kids are like, I need this from you, and I'm like, well, it's not really. It's just that sometimes we just gotta get past ourselves and have a conversation. Be willing to do things not because we're expected to, or because there was some big pressure from the generation before us or our parents, but just because that's the need that's needed in that moment, and we care about each other as a family. And we got to get past all this hatred and resentment, but that's hard, and that's not always going to be attainable for some families, but if it is, go for it. Close the gap.
I always tell people, to your point on that, here's the whole thing. As much as I feel some type of way about President Trump, if he walked in this room today, when he walk in the room, I'm going to stand up, show him his due respect, shake his hand, and refer to him as Mr. President. Why? Because that's what the office requires, or should be. That's the honor for the office. And sometimes you just have to simply honor the office.
Amen.
no matter what the situation is.
Yeah, that's true.
That's life, right? And sometimes here's the other thing too. Here's one last thing I tell you this, and we got to get up out of here. Give everybody 30 seconds for their closing thoughts. Here's the thing you got to remember. Sometimes you sow a seed and you don't always reap where you sowed. So you might have done for your grandkids or your children, and they may not do for you. Somebody else may do for you, maybe even better than your children or your grandchildren did, right? So sometimes I think we kind of get into some of the semantics of it all and kind of get bogged down in some issues that we really should just let God take care of and let God provide and do the right thing no matter what somebody did for you, to you, or didn't do for you or to you. Donna, closing thoughts, ma'am.
Okay, first I want to just read these 2 comments.
Sure.
Van Zell said, I'm moving to Aruba in 5 years. My children have been instructed to get their affairs in order for real. So that's funny. I'm moving with you, Van Zell, to Aruba. Okay, and Pop Earl says, in the hood, the boys call their granddad, yo, ninja, give me your spare change. Give me your spare change. That's funny.
Hilarious.
As a grandmother, I'm just like, I do for, I raised my child. I had a village to help me raise her.
Praise
and
God.
Then when my parents got sick, then I moved from New York down to South Carolina. That's how I ended up here.
Wow.
To take care of my mom because my father had passed away.
Wow.
So I've been here now. My mom has passed on a year and a half or 2 years almost. And, my daughter lives an hour from me. And I still have to go up there and take care, help her because I want to, because I desire that family connection.
Right.
And, that's my only daughter.
Right.
I'm going to help her. I'm going to do whatever I can for her and those grandboys.
Wow.
And if they, time comes when I have to go somewhere or they have to put me somewhere or whatever, I'm going to live with them. I don't care what they say.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all, Jenna?
I'm
you heard
moving.
Look, she say that now till Rufus show up.
Oh, me and Rufus both going over there.
Look, Rufus show up, Donald be like, hey, me and Rufus
Hey.
we holler at y'all.
I'm waiting for
We
Rufus.
see y'all Christmas.
I'm waiting.
Oh my God, that's a whole other show right there. Pastor Tuck, closing comments, sir.
I think Selena said it best. She said exactly what she said. My mama is deceased, but she didn't play that. We knew not to drop our kids off. She helped, but she wasn't babysitting unless we had to work.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's basically what it is. Like I said, grandparents are exactly that. They're grandparents. They're not parents.
Right.
They're optional.
So
that's not their responsibility to raise. They raise one set of kids. They don't have to raise 2.
I'm trying to find Kashana's comments. Kashana said something, I think, on Clubhouse a while ago, and I thought it was a good point. What is it?
I feel like we raised our kids. We raised you so that you know how to raise your kids. Your turn.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
Your turn.
either way, y'all, it's a baby now. Somebody got to do it. The few and the proud. Hey, family, listen, we got to get up out of here. We'll be right back here Thursday, 10 o'clock a.m. right here on Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube, the My Church channel. This is the Akintunde Show, and we had a ball with y'all today. I pray that it sparked some great conversation, some great dialogue, even sparked some thought, and definitely stimulated your faith in the whole process. Faith in God, that whatever the situation and circumstances is, God will provide, God will work it out, and even if something wasn't done right, wasn't provided for them, wasn't given to you, guess what? God can and will, I believe, make up the difference, particularly when you allow him to be head of your life. So there it is, y'all. And respond in a kingdom godly way, not your flesh way. Don't walk around settling scores. My daddy wasn't there. I'm going to fix his behind right now. I'm going to let him lay up in that room and sit on that diaper and smell like piss. I don't give a dang. He ain't do nothing. Is that what God said? Is that what God
That's all
would
right.
do? No.
He'll die in that luxury resort in Mexico, surrounded by butyl incinerators.
Hey, family, we'll be right back here Thursday morning. That's Donna J. That's Pastor Louis Sucker. I'm Akin, y'all, yo. This is the Akintunde Show, and we're going to see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Love your family.